And now continuing with the story of Upamanyu, chapter 35 of the Shiva Purana, Vayu said, "Then the excellent gods with their bodies illuminated hastened to Vaikunta. After bowing, they mentioned everything to Vishnu. On hearing them, Lord Vishnu thought, 'What is this?' After understanding the reason, he immediately went to the Mandar mountain with the desire to see Lord Shiva. On seeing the Lord and bowing to him with palms joined in reverence, Vishnu said, 'O Lord, a certain Brahmin well known as Upamanyu has burnt everything by his penance for obtaining the milk.' Vayu said, on hearing the words of Vishnu, Lord Shiva said, 'I shall prevent the boy. You may please go back to your abodes.' On hearing the words of Lord Shiva, Vishnu, the favorite of the gods, went to his abode after consoling the gods and others. In the meantime, the trident-bearing Lord Shiva resolved to go there, assuming the form of Indra. Taking up the physical form as the king of gods, accompanied by gods, asuras, siddhas, and serpents, and seated on a white elephant, Sadashiva went to the hermitage of the sage. The elephant fanned the Lord with the chauri and held the white umbrella with the left hand while bearing the Lord of gods accompanied by Sachi. Lord Sadashiva, accompanied by Uma and assuming the form of Indra, shone with that umbrella like the Mandar mountain with the disk of the moon. Assuming the form of Indra, Lord Shiva went to the hermitage of Upamanyu in order to bless him. On seeing Lord Shiva in the form of Indra, the sage bowed his head and spoke. Upamanyu said, 'O Lord of gods, O Lord of the universe, O excellent God, my hermitage is sanctified since you have come here.' Vayu said, glancing at the Brahmin who stood steadily after saying thus, with palms joined in reverence, Shiva in the guise of Indra spoke majestically. Indra said, 'O sage of good rites, O elder brother of Domya, I am delighted with your penance. Mention the boon you wish to have. I shall grant you whatever you desire.' Vayu said, the leading sage, when urged thus by Indra, spoke with palms joined in reverence, 'I request you to grant me the boon of devotion to Shiva.' On hearing that, Indra said, 'You do not know me, the Lord of gods, the overlord of the three worlds.' Indra saluted by the gods, 'O Brahmanical sage, be my devotee. Always worship only me. Welfare be to you. I shall give you everything. Abandon Rudra, who is devoid of attributes. What purpose of yours can be served by Rudra, who, without attributes, has become a ghost ostracized from the midst of the gods?' Vayu said, on hearing that, the sage began to repeat the 5-syllabled mantra. He thought that Indra had come there to put obstacles in his holy rites, and so said. Upamanyu said, 'You have said all these things in your eagerness to disparage Shiva. In that context, you have mentioned the nirgunatva of the great Lord. You do not know Rudra, the Lord of the chiefs of the gods, the progenitor of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, and who is greater than Prakriti. I desire to get my boon granted by the Lord who is separate from Sat and Asar, who is the unmanifest, as mentioned by the propounders of Brahman, and who is eternal, single, and multifarious. I desire to secure the boon from that Lord whom the knowers of truth meditate upon, who bestows the goal of Samkhya and Yoga, viz. Release. There is no higher truth than Shiva, who is the cause of all causes, the creator of Brahma, Vishnu, and other gods, and who is the Lord beyond attributes. Of what avail is such talk? I infer that in the previous birth I committed a great sin because a disparaging remark about Shiva was heard by me. On hearing the censure of Shiva, one shall immediately abandon one's life and slay that person too. He then attains Shiva's region. O base god, let my desire for milk wait. After killing you with Shiva's missile, I shall abandon this body of mine." Vayu said. After saying this, Upamanyu, ready to die himself, eschewed his desire for milk and got ready to kill Indra. He took the ash and reinvigorated it with the Agorastra mantra. Aiming it at Indra, he cast it off and shouted loudly. Remembering the feat of Shiva, he attempted to burn off his body. Upamanyu held the fiery missile ready for discharge. When the Brahmin attempted this, Lord Shiva, disguised as Shiva. No, I think that's supposed to be Indra. Lord Shiva disguised as Indra, who destroyed the Isabhaga, prevented the missile of the Yogin gently. At the behest of the Lord, Nandin, the favorite of Shiva, caught in the middle of Agorastras, hurtled by him. Assuming his own form with the crescent moon for his crest, Lord Shiva revealed himself to the Brahmin. The Lord showed to him 1,000 oceans of milk, nectar, curds, ghee, fruits, foodstuffs, and a mountain of sweet pies. The Lord appeared thus seated on the bull along with the goddess and surrounded by the lords of Ganas and holding the divine missiles, trident, etc. The Dundubi drums were sounded in the heaven. There was a shower of flowers. The 10 quarters were filled with the gods, chiefs of whom were Vishnu, Brahma, and Indra. Then Upamanyu, enveloped by the waves of bliss, fell at his feet, his mind made humble with devotion. Then the smiling Lord Shiva called him near, kissed him on the head, and granted him boons. Shiva said, "Partake of various foodstuffs as you please along with your kinsmen forever. Be happy always, free from misery. Be my devotee. O fortunate Upamanyu, this goddess Parvati is your mother. You have been adopted as my son. The milk ocean is given to you. So also the ocean of honey, of rice with curds and ghee, and of fruits, etc. O sage, mountains of sweet pies, the ocean of foodstuffs, these are given to you. Please take them. Your father is Lord Shiva. Your mother is Parvati, the mother of the universe. I give you the status of a god, the eternal chieftainship of the Ganas. Choose boons as you please. I am delighted. I shall grant you boons. You need not hesitate at all." Vayu said, saying thus, Lord Shiva caught him with his hands, kissed him on the head, and handed him over to the goddess, saying, "This is your son." The goddess received him with pleasure like Guha, placed her hand on his head, granted him the unchanging status of a bachelor. The milk ocean came in an embodied form, holding sweet milk in his hands. Approaching the saintly boy, he gave him imperishable condensed milk. The goddess, out of delight, gave him the yogic prosperity, perpetual contentment, imperishable Brahma Vidya, and the greatest affluence. The delighted Shiva saw the splendor of his penance, granted boons again to the sage Upamanyu. He gave him the Pashupata right, the Pashupata knowledge, and the perpetual ability to propound and discourse. Obtaining the divine boons and the perpetual bachelorhood from Shiva, he became joyous. Delighted in his mind, he bowed with palms joined in the reverence. The Brahmin then requested Lord Shiva for a boon and said, "O Lord of the chief of the gods, be pleased. Please grant me devotion to you, great, divine, and unflinching. O great Lord, grant me an abiding faith in persons devoted to you. Grant me the great slavery and the perpetual proximity to you." After saying this, Upamanyu, the excellent Brahmin, eulogized the Lord in the words choked with delight. "O great Lord, O Lord of gods, favorably disposed to those who seek refuge in you. O ocean of mercy, be pleased always, O Shiva, accompanied by Parvati." Vayu said, "Thus requested Lord Shiva, the granter of boons, replied with delighted mind to Upamanyu, the excellent sage." Shiva said, Oh, dear Upamanyu, I am delighted. Indeed, everything has been granted by me to you. O Brahmanical sage, you are of steady devotion. I wanted to test you. Be free from old age, death, and misery. Be glorious and endowed with splendor and divine knowledge. Your kinsmen, your family, and spiritual lineage shall be everlasting. O excellent Brahman, your devotion to me shall be permanent. O excellent Brahman, I shall always be present in your hermitage. Near me you shall always blissfully sport about. Thus granting him the boons, Lord Shiva, who had the luster of a crore suns, vanished there itself. Securing the boons from the Lord, Upamanyu, delighted in his mind, went to his mother's abode and attained the supreme bliss. Well, that was a wonderful story. Very wonderful. What is going to be next? It's going to be section 7.2 Vayavya Samhita. So I may do a series of videos talking of the different stories out of the Shiva Purana. They're very nice. So I wanted to share this one with all of you. So thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more of these types of videos.